For those just tuning in at home, students who are watching this after the day of the lesson, we just watched a 45-second clip of Dr. King and I Have a Dream speech. And so, okay, everyone, he mentions the 5 years ago. I think that's an obvious reference to whom? Okay, yes, and the Gettysburg Address, right? And he mentions directly, this is less of an allusion and more just a reference. He mentions that they're standing in Lincoln's shadow symbolically, but also literally because he's speaking in front of Lincoln and the Lincoln Memorial. Like people who are listening to him, watching him, can see Abraham Lincoln's giant statue in the background. Okay, now the question is, why mention Lincoln? Because he could have mentioned Frederick Douglass, who's friends with Lincoln, worked with Lincoln, famous abolitionist, an African American who escaped slavery. Could have mentioned Frederick Douglass. Could have mentioned any number of people who were slaves but who were freed. Okay, so why mention Lincoln? Talk to each other first. Go. Yeah, there should be an outlet. There's an outlet here. Should be able to reach. All right, folks, bring it back. So, just thoughts. Why mention Lincoln? Yes.
He was one of the first white government officials to advocate for anti-slavery.
Okay, so white government official who's advocating for anti-slavery policy. Yes, sir.
He was the one time he signed the Emancipation Proclamation.
Yeah. Sign the Emancipation Proclamation. Like, this is all relevant. This is all relevant. And if you were to go on to YouTube, and I'll go ahead and then my point.
I think he mentioned him to set this idea that, Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation that freed the slaves, but at that time period, they were still not at the place they should have been at.
That's a very good point, and it happened 100 years ago, and not enough progress had been made in that 100 years. So, like, all of your answers, relevant. And if you were writing an essay, you could go in all of those directions. If you watch the entire video, and it's amazing that YouTube has that. We just watch it whenever you want. But if you look at the audience is multiracial. Like, there are people who are African American coming to listen to this speech. There are also plenty of people who are white coming to listen to this speech. And by mentioning Abraham Lincoln, he does two things. One, it was already mentioned, pointed out that 100 years ago, a promise was made, but the promise hasn't been kept. And also, it references a foundational American figure, not just a figure who's specific to one group of people, like one identity group, but like a president for all the people. And so it's an important president to mention. It's an important person to quote. So if we're writing an essay about this topic, there are two ways that we could write the thesis statement. So in both methods, it helps to start with the author in the article. And then what you can do is you can go on to say what the author proves, essentially like what's the thesis of the article. And then you can go on to how the author proves whatever it is he or she proves. So that's one way to do it. The other way is to flip that order just a little bit. So the other order is you still start with the author in the article, but then you can start with how the author is proving his or her point, and then what the author is proving. All right, I'm just going to, we got 6 minutes, so I'm going to show you this quick. Let's make this blue. And you type what I type. So this is the blue part. In the I Have a Dream speech, Dr. King. It tells us which article, in this case a speech, and it tells us who. I'd probably type out like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., but we're just going to keep it simple for now. Dr. King, right? All right. Then you go on to here, Dr. King argues what? Or encourages what? So I might say, in the I Have a Dream speech, Dr. King encourages all Americans, no matter their race, to support the civil rights movement. That is a move, not a move, an argument he's making. And he's talking to all Americans, like he's talking to a diverse audience. And now the question is, how does he do it? Whoops. By I don't want to repeat the word America or American twice. So this is who does the work, who gives the speech. The yellow tells us what argument or purpose the speech has, and then the green tells us how the author like accomplishes that purpose. And if you follow this order, great. Your essay is your thesis statement is going to be fine. Okay, that's one order that you could follow. The other order is similar. You just flip the last two pieces. So put the green first, the yellow second. So we're going to put the blue first. Blue first. Green second. Yellow third. Now we can't just copy and paste and that fixes all our problems. Doesn't work like that. We have to make sure that the sentence makes sense. So in the second sentence, second thesis, in the I Have a Dream speech, Dr. King alludes to a foundational president and hero, Abraham Lincoln, comma, in order to encourage. And then I don't want to repeat the same order of the blue portion, so I can change that too. Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech alludes to, and now we have variety. I'm not saying you need to use both of these formats. Obviously not, because you only need one thesis statement. But either of these formats could work for your essay. And the thesis that I wrote, like just now, I was kind of spitballing. I didn't take time to revise it. I didn't take time to, what they call it, wordsmith it, to make it sound purdy, as you might say. So if you scroll down, you can see a couple of other examples. These are, I think the wording in these two is tighter. If you scroll down, like you see other examples. Different wording, same idea. we don't have a lot of time left, so I just want to check in quickly. This process, raise a hand if, yeah, it's helpful to see this. Okay, good. Does anyone have a quick question before the bell rings that these thesis statements raised? Okay, I will save this video, post it to the Canvas soon enough, and y'all have a great day.